Sa không thể cải cái mi quê si cả đi mà phải đi ăn để về đang ba đồ vụ cô về là vụ không thể cải cái mi quê si cả đi mà phải 你来不一定要下手，有些地方你要比较。今天下午第二个，由于出来签到了这家行业，咱们签到这个服务这家行业，那个签到这简单，签到这个一样，所以签到这个今天不可以。我听了这家行业，把你来说，我这个上就。
Yesterday, Sayadaw started teaching the Dhamma, but it was just an introduction. Now today, Sayadaw would like to start the main Dhamma talk. So, as for all the human beings, we all like to have this. Not every one of us like to have this. And what we want to have this is, we do want a distinguished real happiness or real bliss. To attain that, we needed to do some of the things. And what are they? Sayadaw will explain to you.
现在你在家里面了，现在你眼睛也讲，人家讲说那个经啊，活为无力，假如说了。现在你在那个地方，我们的顾客啊，那个地面都接到了，地面都接到了，你啊，现在就这样，现在你叫我们那个正规化了，你要那样东西，你们在这里批评了，人家也叫我们容易。
Sayadaw explained that every one of us like to have a real, distinguished bliss or happiness in life. And how to attain that? There, at one time in this world, there was an incomparable person as arisen. But as that leader does not exist in this world nowadays. As for all the human beings, however, we like this distinguished happiness or bliss, but we don't know how to do it. And that's why Sayadaw explained that the method or the teaching, because of the doubt on that teaching, it is almost becoming faint.
以前那教练们说的些，你有没学的？第五千的，你谁千的出来了？五千的出来了，这种这的我你来拿，这没有两条路线，这没有标准的，这没有，他不管了，他这比较的，他比较。一些有啥的小回来看嘛，少你比来了的，现在也没都退下来了，现在里头差了，后面跟现在谁现在有么回来？谁现在出来了？公路线还有那里手机里那些，谁现在那个地位收下来就，就那个些那里能有那些。
When it comes to the term of happiness or bliss, there is only two kinds. That is bodily bliss and mental bliss. So for the first kind is it confined to comfortable life. Because we all have learned to attain certain kind of educational level. So you are endowed with worldly wealth. Because of the comfortable life, we feel quite comfortable for our body. But it is more important for all of us to have a mental bliss. So Sayadaw appreciates this mental bliss, and just by attaining the object of the materiality it is not enough.
Kuchanda Surahara Yoga Kene Surichi, Yara Kuchanda Aru, Development Yoga Ki, Kuchanda Yana Devu, Yale Vedi Chanda, Chanda Devu Sura Devu, Sichanda Sura Devu, Sitche Ayurvedi, Nijana Satipi Yara, Nigomili. Nangomili, Yada Gomili, Tiki Gomili, Siku Gomili, and the other Sichana, the Lubia, Nali Tower. The Rebel Eddie Chanda, Lithium, Tila Gomi Chanda. Eddie Chanda would get Tinky Villa. Eda Yaguya. Yara is Lucy, and the movie of Ella Chinkone, Kundora Kunyaro, video Konya, Dilo Konya,
So, Sarah explained that most of the people in this world, if we are well-to-do, if we are in good health and no illnesses, then we feel that we have a bliss in our body. And as for our mental happiness, mind happiness, from the sense object, from seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, then whenever we encounter with good object from the sense of seeing, hearing, touching, etc., then we think these are the things that will conduce our mind to have bliss in ourselves. Because we thought these objects, by giving us the bliss in us, it is not a complete or pure bliss. Because by falling so, or if we are pursuing these pleasantness, then these pleasantness at one time will make you dangerously good, and sometimes it will be really good. So that's why it will make you dangerous, and at one time you may make you feel it.
Yaluja, the gate, Kuchana, Sichana, Yaluja, Pukubiha, a Chana, Yaluja, looking loaded is Chia, which is Chia Lower. But looking loaded Yellow Palido, Korea, Korea, looking loaded Chanda, looking loaded Nadia. Nani you know, looking at the do a chain car, you look loyal. A chain loyal, you to the loyal.
So, in accordance with Buddha's wishes, if we want to achieve the bliss, real bliss, there are things we needed to do. It is a must that we must do. That in turn is Sarah says it is called as Kriya. These are the walks we needed to be done. So only in that way we will attain a distinguished bliss in ourselves. So these, to attain these, we have to walk. That walk we should do it regularly. We must do it in time, and we must do it always in time, and it must be done regularly. So what we needed to do is, if we are going to walk to achieve the real bliss, then we cannot do with things that are dirty. So it must be clean and pure. So by doing this clean and pure walk, then we can enable our life to be clean and pure.
အဲ့ဒီအရာတွေကတော့ဖြူစင်တန်ရှင်းရမယ့်အရာတွေကတော့ကောင်းမှုတွေပါပဲကောင်းတဲ့မှုတွေဟိုရပါပဲအပြင်ကျင်းပြီးတော့ကောင်းမှုတဲ့အရာတွေမှန်သမျှဆိုရင်ရုပ်ထက်တဲ့အရာတွေပြီးဆုံးရုပ်ထက်တဲ့အရာတွေမှန်ကြည့်ပြီးတော့လုပ်ပြီးဆိုရင်ချမ်းသာမှုညှို့နေတယ်လို့ချမ်းသာမှုကတော့နောက်ပိုင်းကလိုက်တာ
So to walk this pure path, then what are the things we needed to do is all the meritorious work we have to do. These meritorious works mean they are faultless and blameless and they are clean. So if we are doing these faultless and blameless or the meritorious works, then although we don't aim to get the result, because you have done the work, the result will ensue automatically.
Chanda Duguru Paliyo Sukha Vipaka Sovaya Yamadana Solution of Sukha Vipaka Sovaya Sukha Chanda Vipaka Sukha
Sukha Vipaka
What to cover to Chanaji Bali.
Sarah explained that is done in term in Pali is Sukha Vipaka. Sukha means it is, some explain in English as happiness, in reality it is a bliss. So to attain that distinguished bliss is we have to walk.
In Chanda Dulushino, looking at it, show up, looking at it, or local, here I will probably clear the cover.
To attain the real bliss, there are things we needed to avoid or abstain from, and there are things we needed to do it. So these do's and don'ts in Pali term is called as Kriya.
Looking at what is the Pala Lima, people say, so you want. I am not like you. Nobody don't get it, nobody don't get it, more than you get it. To go on Sana, Tibet is the Gomura, my brother, the teacher, the Yinga, CAG, Johnny, choosing Tashima, choosing Tashina, the world, Palido, Omiano, Korea. I don't want to mention Omiakia, what to do.
Since we were born, we all have different characters. There are some with excessive greed, some with excessive anger, some with excessive delusion, and sometimes we are very selfish, and also we are very foolish at times too. So what are these? These are the causes for the suffering. To abstain from all these is we are doing the good works, and meritorious works. This is called as Punya and Kriya. So this is, we are doing the good works for ourselves. And that is, the whole sentence is called as Punya Kriya.
Punya, David, is of Yamachi, you may have what piece in you, choosing that she's that it look.
Sayadaw explained about the meaning of punya, that is the meritorious works. As for our life, to clean and to purify our life, that way of work is termed as punya. Sayadaw explained that in this world, almost all the human beings, we all have less of reflection with wisdom in ourselves. And also, we all have lack of sati, that is mindfulness, and also there is no wisdom. Because of those bad qualities in us, then we will be satisfied only when we want to get it, we are satisfied. If we do not get it, then we get angry. Our mind is trying to take revenge, etc. All these evil minds taking uprising in our mind are because we have filled with wisdom and mindfulness. Sarah is explaining that if we analyze this kind of mind, that means we have never invert or divert or bend our mind to be clean and pure. So that's why if we do not bend our mind to do the meritorious work, that's why our mind is not directed by the purity. So once we become as a being, once we are having a life, then we just keep our mind just freely. There is no protection, there is no guardian to our mind. Therefore, there is no good aid to our mind as well. So it is somewhat like you are driving a car recklessly. If you are driving a car recklessly, then this will go here and there and you will meet with an accident. So in the same manner, if we keep our mind free, then we are in Sarah explained that to have an upright mind, maybe we are learning from our parents friends, or maybe we will be learning from our teachers, or maybe we will be learning from our monks, teacher monks. And if we never study how to keep our mind upright and straightforward, and we never read about how to keep our mind straightforward and upright, and we never discuss about how to keep our mind clean and straightforward, that's why our mind will be going in a wise manner.
Choose a achieve a sickly. No job, no widow. University will have Jewish one, don't shut up. Then township. Buddha, Buddha, Chacha, Pada, will live at the University. People that do live. Pada, my book will live at the University. You don't want to do a pillar with a Chia, a Chia, Vita, something that is Chia, something that is so, I think it's
So to have this basic knowledge, we needed to awaken our mind. After we have awakened our mind, we must use properly of this awakened mind. So it doesn't only confine to the people who are following the Buddhism, but it also embraces all the people in this world. Because we all are human beings, then we needed to abide to all the universal laws. That implies to all the human beings to become real human beings. That's why we needed to avoid what we have got.
What is the Parade? The word of the Mori body. Sick Chori Luciano, that he had TV, the Miyavido. To look at Akama, come out to look at Luciano. Charlie Luciano. What was that Mohammed, a chief of Namiara? A chief said, soldier never a chief of Namiara.
So, as for all the human beings, not only in this life, we have these kinds of evil minds in ourselves. So if we do not correct our mind while we are becoming as a human being, then in accordance with the influence of mind pollutants like greed, anger, and delusion, then we will be just following the evil conduct.
The same one I look at you the solution now. Do not do that. Call me 11, no one, Joshi, no more. 2 hours, no one, to me. Macona, it's only kill level, now Kayama Bodo, so knowledge, any book will touching Yari, so you know, Maloney, Yara. My man, never did not what he did over the world. The county cheese solid of the Yara. Looking at it, Jolly,
so there are some kind of concept in the human beings that we all thought that there was no previous lifetime, and after this lifetime, all finished. There is no more of becoming. So because of that concept, we will be, this kind of evil will be ensuing all the evil deeds, whatever they wanted to do. So for these kind of people, they are also hesitate to do all the clean and good moral conduct. So Sarah says, nowadays, especially in this world, currently we can see these kind of men.
Cái Buddha nói rằng sinh sát trong sinh là vô cùng nhiều, trong sinh là vô cùng nhiều cái bảo bảo lý, chỉ là từ nào đi đó, chán là từ nhà gì ở chỗ mà đại lý về, đại lý tu hành này từ lâu giờ về, lâu gì lâu này cái nào cũng lúc gì đó, chỉ thay đi cái kiến thức gì bị được thiếu sót về, cái đó là để sĩ quan mà lại về. Bây giờ này này, bây giờ sinh hoạt này, lúcที่อย่างที่เราlúcที่อยู่ที่ไหนเนี่ยส่วนเราเนี่ยก็จะรู้ว่าเราชีวิตเนี่ย
So in accordance with Buddha's teaching, with his enormous compassion, Buddha expounded the Dhamma to those people who have a straightforward mind, and also to those people who are not good in the mind. That's why Buddha expounded, these are the things you have to do. That means from our speech and deeds, we needed to clean or purify from our speech and deeds. So if you pursue this path, then you will become a real human being. Only by doing so, you will have the knowledge as well.
Jadi chanda riya jinya jauh, lalu yang susun tansi yang lalu diara, jinjin yang biasa yang berada, tu usul yang berada pada, di dana punya, ni tidak punya ni, tempat punya itu yang berada.
So to attain the benefits of the bliss, Buddha have expounded in three main groups. These three main groups are, number one is dana punya, that is to do charity or generosity. And second is sila punya, that is the merits by observing the morality. And the third is bhavana punya, that is to cultivate a mind.
Ini punya tu ni mah. Dana punya alwezong ni, alwezong asal itu dia kawal dengan sahaja. Bagi alwezong le seluruh mah, biasa kan dia isi, sahaja dia lebih punya lebih cukup, isi lebih. Kuji betul le, cuba lebih niat betul ni. Kuat bisili kurbago dan febio tahun ini pada dana kau ikan ni sampai ikan siapa tu siapa tu siapa tu sih ikan lu sirna sih dia ikan ni atau dana punya.
Sayadaw explained about the first kind, that is dana punya. That means the act of generosity or to do charity. And this practice is the easiest for the human beings. Because if you have a material thing or something to give to the others, and also you have the intention from your mind to share the goodness of you, so you share all the material things or give away with generosity. So this is easy to practice. So that means you must have a material deed, and also you must have a volition. The intention from the mind must be there, so you can practice dana punya.
Kuna satu banyak saya kerja pada punya tu ini yang buat fisik tu, fisik dan fisik tu dia tu boleh, tu dia boleh, saya tu saya syarat. Era di Theravada semula tenang bila kita ada Chia. Bila kunci Chia boleh, itu cerita kau bila bila Chia ada. Jauh lebih jauh bila bila tenang kita pada. အဲ့ဒါဒါနပြုပြီးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒါနအတွက်အကျိုးအတွက်ကုန်ကြမဲ့ကြီးမှုတွေပေါ်မှာကိုယ်ပိုင်ပစ္စည်းပေါ်မှာဟုတ်တယ်တွေ့တာနေရင်ဒါနပုံရမရှိပါဘူးဒါနအတွက်အကျိုးအတွက်တမတ်တဲ့ပစ္စည်းပေါ်မှာတွေ့တာမှုကြရပါတယ်တွေ့တာမှုကြည့်လို့မပြောတော့တဲ့အမှန်တရားရှိတဲ့အကျိုးလည်းမပြောရဘူးဝတ်စစ်တဲ့တတိဖြစ်ပါလိမ့်ဒီလိုဖြစ်ပါလိမ့်အဲဒီလိုလည်းမထုံးရဘူးစေနာကောင်းရင်အဲ့ဒီချီကိုလိုလိုဖြစ်စီတာမလို့တောင်းတာနေတဲ့ကိုယ်ကတောင်းတာရင်အားနေတော့တယ်ငါတို့ကလူတွေနဲ့ဆိုတဲ့နာမည်ကြီးနေတယ်ပါရဘူးအဲ့တော့ဒီလိုပြုလုပ်ပြီးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဉာဏ်ဉာဏ်ပဲပြုပြုဉာဏ်ဉာဏ်ပဲပြုပြုဘယ်လိုပဲပြုပြုပါလိအတူတူကုန်ကြမဲ့ကြီးမှုတွေကိုအတွေ့အကြုံကိုပြလို့မပြောပါလို့ဒီလိုဒါနရဲ့အကျိုးလည်းမပြောရနာမည်ကြီးချင်တယ်လို့ပါရအဲ့ဒါတော့ဆင်းရဲပေါ်တယ်ဒီဘုရားဆောင်တော့ကကျင်းတယ်ခေါ်တယ်ဒီလောကမှာအဲ့ဒီဘုရားဆောင်တော့တိတ်ဆိုးတယ်အကြည့်ပြချင်းအကြောင်းတွေကိုယ်သာရကျင်တယ်ကိုယ်သာပိုင်ကျင်တယ်ကိုယ်သာအစဉ်ကြီးစိတ်ကျင်တဲ့စိတ်ထားတွေလူဆိုင်တဲ့စိတ်ထားတွေ
then this is a real kusala, this is a real merit. So for the bliss of that recipient, then because of your good consideration towards that recipient, that means your mind is having loving kindness towards this person. So that's why when you are doing this kind of dana, you are also having nidja or loving kindness.
This Vipassana will cause us to get a sikariha. In Nango, Chinese government sikariha. The Russian city and Dhamma city. Nancy Mira Kirochi, take Pidavana. Udia Bumawa Pidi, Yabumawa Pidi. Which is Nasia, Simbia, Sisosia, Mosia, Jona, Solution. Say, Ten Chile Pogo. Yet another secret that she only made so that Uki Matara Pogo Solution, Town and Togani Pila. Tanaka to Buddha and Italy Talusi. Sickness as is also a bit of town of Kitty Jaunova, chain retained it, killed at the Toga Lego, Pidia of London. A bit of the Dua Tashini Nabu, the children of Tashinia is celebrating Kisses. We are to done a bit of time, Italy of Pagori Solution. To ride. For my boy, a company situation, a mere option, Chichi at the body, and a kid. Chichi at the body, I come to see November. You want to go in my taxi day. The body area, the few who are dancing your father. The work on that in a Coco, also will be in November. Moody is shaking again. You know, you really can't do it. The China could have said it like I didn't know where we are conversing in a city, no way of color. Choose you are doing a city, no way of color. Simon and Beta in November. Now, when I dance with your parallel, you want to go in my trashy to what you are Ukavaloga Jimo. Mia option. Buddha Naman, if they ever had a man. I don't get me to see, catch up for me.
So whenever you have the consideration for maybe a few or many people, for them to be in a good state, then if your mind is not controlled, then you don't have that kind of mentality. So wherever your mind is directed, then because your mind is not tamed and not controlled, then whatever the condition arises, conduce you to arise dosa, that means anger. You will develop anger instantly. But once you have constructed a mind in taming it, then you can control your mind in time. And also it won't happen wrong. That anger won't happen in your mind wrong. So that you can control and manage your mind. So because of that kind of mental attitude towards the other, not only you have controlled your defilement mind in yourself, but also the good one you are looking for the others will ensue in your mind, that you are proper in your mind. That means these are the qualities that is present in noble good people. In the noble and good people, they always have a good mind, goodwill. So because of the goodwill, there is no more of anger. There is no more of wanting to take revenge. There is no more of impure mind. But instead, only one is considering for the goodness of others. As well, there will be purity of mind, and also there is a consideration for the benefits of the others. So So these are the qualities that happen in good and evil people. But nowadays, in this world, these qualities are lacking in many people. In other words, they are lacking in their own personalities. So whenever you are giving away your material to the others, when that person is getting what he or she is needed, then you feel very happy. You see them receive what you have given to give from God. That is punya. That is the meritorious work you are doing. If you are doing that meritorious work, at that moment, your mind is freed from hatred, anger. And not only that, you will have endurance in your mind, you will have forgiveness in your mind, and even you will reach to the point of self-sacrifice. So that means because you are rendering for the benefits of the others, your mind has these good qualities. And also, you don't want other people to be hurt or suffer because of you. And you don't want many people will suffer because of I and you. So in that way, you are also having compassion. So if you have that compassion, there is no cruelty at all. If you have that loving kindness, then there is no hatred at all. So that's why whenever one is doing this generosity, you are also adding this metta karuna, that is loving kindness and compassion, with the act of your generosity. It is somewhat like if you have an individual cleanliness or a group cleanliness, you need to have that compassion.
ကိုယ့်ရဲ့အပြုအမူပေါ်မှာလည်းဒီတိုင်းပဲတရှိရင်ကြည့်တဲ့ဘုရားစိတ်ဓာတ်ပြုမှုတွေကကောင်းကျိုးရမတန်ရှိတဲ့လောဘဒေါသမောဟလိုလိုက်ပြီးတော့ကိုယ်သာရခြင်းနဲ့သူများတွေပဲလုံးနေပြီမုန်းကြီးတဲ့ဒေါသတွေရစ်စစ်တဲ့ဒေါသတွေပြီးလို့ရှိရင်ဒါဆိုးကျိုးရတယ်ဆိုတော့မတည့်တဲ့စိတ်သွားစားလို့ရှိရင်ဒုက္ခရောက်တဲ့ဆိုတာမျိုးဒီစိတ်ကိုရှိအဲ့ဒါဒီကြတော့မတည့်တာကြီးလောဘဒေါသမောဟလုံးကျဲရဲစက်နဲ့အပြုလို့လေကျူတိထားတော့ရှောင်းတာရှောင်းတော့ဆိုးကျိုးရပါကောင်းတဲ့ကိုယ်လုံးစိတ်ဓာတ်ပြုရကောင်းကျိုးရတယ်ဆိုဒီစိတ်ဓာတ်ကျူတိထားတော့များသောအားဖြင့်ကောင်းတာတွေရွေးလို့တော့ကောင်းကျိုးတွေရတယ်ဆိုးကျိုးတဲ့ရဲစက်နဲ့ကိုယ်လုံးစိတ်ဓာတ်ပြုရဆိုးကျိုးရတယ်ဆိုဒီစိတ်ဓာတ်ရှိတာတော့တတ်နိုင်ဆိုစိတ်ဖြောင်းထားပြီးတော့တတိနဲ့ရှောင်းနေရှောင်းတော့ဆိုးကျိုးရတာတွေနဲ့ကောင်းကျိုးရတာတွေများလာမယ်အဲဒီသိစိတ်ကလည်းတည်ရည်ကြည့်ပါလား
So whenever we are practicing punya or whenever we are doing the miraculous work, we needed to do it with knowledge. So if we are doing with knowledge, that is the best kind of practice you are doing. So whenever we are purifying speech, deeds, and from our mind, then not only you are making yourself pure, but you are also making yourself blameless from the others. Nobody can blame you because you are doing good. Because you are doing good, there is no hatred, there is no cruelty, there is no foolishness. So it is somewhat like if you are taking nourishing food. If you are taking a nourishing food, you will be in good health and you are well nourished. So in the same manner, if we are purifying our speech, deeds, and from our mind, then we will be having the effect of the purity. But instead, foolishly, if we are thinking that if we are doing the evil things, it's like you are taking the poisonous food or a bad food. Then if you are taking the poisonous food, you will be suffering from any kind of illness. But beforehand, if we have the knowledge that these are the things which are good for one, and these are the things which are not good for one, because of that knowledge, then whenever we needed to avoid things, we will be avoiding. Whatever the things which is beneficial, we will be doing. So because of avoiding the evils and doing the goods, what happened with that is that person will be achieving only the good of life. Sayadaw is explaining that human beings, we all are very different from the animals. So because we are very different from the animals, whether you are doing for your own self or for the others or for the community, then whatever you are going to do, this what you are going to do must be blameless. And we must consider or we must comprehend whether it is good or bad, whether it is beneficial or not beneficial. If it is beneficial, but if it is faulty, then we shouldn't do it. It must be blameless and faultless, and it must be beneficial. Only if we are taking up these two groups to practice, saying that these facts not only confined to the people who are in the field of Buddhism, but it also embraced to all the Indians in the world, because we all are Indians. So as all the human beings, we all need to have these fundamental or basic qualities. That is, we mustn't render ourselves we mustn't have selfish thoughts. That is, we will be free from the anger. If there is no anger and no hatred, then our mind will be fulfilled with loving kindness and compassion. So, based on this loving kindness and compassion, then we will be rendering whenever we are practicing any good, whether it is beneficial or not, we will comprehend in our mind. So, but better than that is we must have the main aim to reach to a point where there is no becoming in the future time. But there are people in this world, when they know that the main aim is not to become as a being, then they think it is a fragile thought or it is a fragile practice.
What is no channel to keep by each channel? One channel. Get a common you have. A little later. What if you said Jayla, consider your channel? That's why we are good. What if you said, what if you said channel, Kuresha Buddha? Kuresha Buddha channel go. That's why you go to sing Buddha. You go, Lanjama, what if you did Lanjama? What if you did a good example? What if you did Lanjama? And there's a little bit who young is a machine, what did appear? David Bello. A lot of time child was only a murder. In the case of not making the woman on here. What if he is where another here, who sees here, who hears here, who hears here, and one here. Here a channel. Three channel, but a channel. Yes, of Yaga. Couldn't shout with me or couldn't hold it. I would demand the art of the Amagachi channel. I'm just very looking at these other cheap on as well now. I don't know the good chain now to watch another young. I will make a done every dinner with cheap on the as well chain. Any channel never. With the on channel. 3 long on channel. Amagachi channel. 2 channel on channel. Who go out to video calling. Kilo calling.
Concerning with this point, there are some who have the understanding that not becoming is not good. So, if we extend our minds, if we are coming to understand that if there is no more of becoming, there is no more of the chain of the events of the suffering. So, once you become as a being, from time to time we are aging. From month to month, year to year, we are aging. Then not only we are aging and getting older and older, but we have to succumb to sickness at one time, and we have to deal with death. So not only that, while we are alive, because of the presence of physical body, we have to suffer body suffering. Because of our mind's presence, we have the mental suffering. Because of this physical suffering, then we all know now that even for one sit, we have lots of pain here and there. Then we want to change our body posture time and again. So supposing if you just sit all the while, if you just stand all the while, or if you just walk all the while without changing your posture too, then because of the stagnation of the blood circulation, you can meet with death as well. That's why whenever there is the presence of body, we have to suffer the body suffering. Whenever we have this mind, whatever this mind has to suffer, we have to suffer. So that's why Sayadaw is saying that even during this talk, because maybe we all have a mind, but Sayadaw is talking too long and not yet finished. So because we have this pain and suffering. And not only that, but at one time or the other, we have to be separated by our loved ones, and we have to meet with sorrow, grief, and lamentation. And all these are inevitable, unavoidable. We have to meet at one time or the other. Why? Because we have this body or we have this life. So the best is not becoming. So there are some who don't like this concept of not becoming. They think it is not good. But as for the Lord Buddha, who himself has practiced, and he has achieved this bliss by not becoming anymore as a being. So because of there is no more of becoming, Sayadaw asks us that when there is no more of becoming, what will left to us? When there is no more of becoming, suffering is there. So because we are becoming as being from one lifetime after another is because of the presence of peace of the Paramita in us. Accordingly, we have to become as a being in the way body. So only once we have achieved attaining the first mega or once you become a Sotabana, then it becomes a little bit less. You have not to suffer the suffering state. But however, even Sotabana, so whenever body suffering, you have to suffer this physical thing. As for the Lord Buddha, who in himself have achieved his knowledge with his own experience and understanding, or Buddha understood those complete bliss by cessation of this body and mind is the real peace and real bliss. That's why for the benefits of all the beings, Buddha have expounded this practice. So as for us, all the human beings now at least, we all pursue in the worldly wealth or worldly happiness. But this worldly happiness won't exist long, because at times we have to suffer as well. So these worldly bliss or happiness it is definitely good and fatally good. So as mentioned, if we are practicing this dana, then by doing this real dana, while we are doing so, our mind is freed from greed, anger, etc. So in that way, we are really working on this punya or real meritorious works. So this meritorious works will conduce one to attain the real bliss. Because you have fulfilled the needs of the other people or the recipient. That's why you are doing this meritorious work. So if you are doing this meritorious work, because you have this punya or good merits in you, then you are channeling or you are giving the path for your past good karma to crop up in this lifetime. And not only that, from here and after, you will have Boga Sappati, you will have wealth and property in the next lifetime as well. But these are just the bliss, but there is no conduct as to that it works.
in that of yet way to make a different of job. A chingon hope in Vero. Different of job, chingon, lampoon, daughter, and to a chase. The way to I wanted to do Dana and the kitchen and kid up. Put up what I table, I took a media to jump Salem and carry a table. Dana, the good idea of the power. The power man of the she could hear London put up the both Sunday. You see the motor. The government, a Jew, Nora, Vitamapara, Karunamapara, Adiyamapara, Aitanariado, Kujidia Lagamupo, Lupuishia, Janara, Kujidia Lagamupo, and a virgin to Buga. They never took with Jana, Kujidia Lagamupo. Jana, Kuda Pasir, Lilin and Tetoyan and Dinia Solar.
With Buddha's teaching about 2,000 years ago, there arose a king named Asoka, and he has erected pillars, and on those pillars were inscribed with Buddha's teaching. And in that he mentioned that among those meritorious deeds, then dana is the minor form. Although it is a minor form, to be done if you know how to practice this dana of generosity properly, then it will enhance you to reach to the point to Nirvana. So that is, it will enhance you for the path to open to reach to Nirvana. So Sayadaw says, now Sayadaw is teaching the path that is to be open to reach to Nirvana, starting from this dana. In dana, there is no conduct is inclusive in the act of generosity or charity. But if there is greed, if there is anger, or if there is ulterior motive, or if there is lack of loving kindness or compassion, then these kind of practice are not good for one. Only with purity of mind, if one is practicing dana in a systematic and proper way, then that will conduce one to open the path to reach the cessation of suffering. That's all for tonight.
Thank you.